The following review is going to be on Age of the Primes Aerialbot Skydive, our number 4 out of 5 Aerialbots, so stay tuned. Rodimusbill here, and today we're going to do Transformers Age of the Primes Skydive review. First, take a look at the box. It is the new old plastic packaging. You got Transformers Age of the Primes Aerialbot Skydive. Let's see, More Than Meets the Eye, 505 Superion, Robot to Plane in 17 steps. There's robot and plane mode. There is Aerialbot Skydive with Superion and Collect to Combine. Till all are one, it is a deluxe class. It looks like you got Prima Prime, Vector Prime, and I don't know. Then on the back, you got Aerialbot Skydive, Collect to Combine, and then 17 steps, More Than Meets the Eye. So, as we take him out of the package, he's been taken out before, we find he's got 2 weapons and instruction booklet. I actually never even opened up the instruction booklet since obviously I know what he does, but Transformers, Age of the Prime Skydive, you open up the box and you gotta fix his feet, gotta fix his arms, and gotta fix his tail fin. So right out of the box, he's not even transformed. And then finally here, we get to the 2 guns, you put them in the hand, and then you get to transform him in 17 steps. Missiles go under the wings. And he forms the, looking at him, it would be the right, but it's the left leg of Superion. All right. Now he's got all 2 new guns. They are the same. We'll take a look at them, and there you go. Pretty cool. And they're both the same, and they are blast effect compatible. Looks like. Now, when you first get them, and this also comes in the little Autobot bag. These are pretty cool, these Autobot bags. So you just stick this in, and that is the tail fin. Oops. Let me transform them correctly. There you go. And then the 2 guns can fit in his hands when he's in robot mode. Let me do a little camera work. And they go right here when he's in plane mode. So now, he was supposed to come out in November, and then September, him in Fireflight, but Fireflight still says September 29th on Amazon, but this guy came in early. Actually, it was like on the 13th or something. All right, so let's look at the face. It's pretty cool, pretty cartoon accurate. The orange face and the blue eyes. You got the red Autobot symbol here. Now the chest is red and black. You got some gray there, some gray in the legs. Now this one don't look that bad. The black hips and the black, the waist and the hips don't look that bad. On the white guys, you got white, and the black sticks out. But at least on here, it blends in, so you can't really tell. Now he's very G1-ish because the wings are on the back. Even though technically it's these wings that used to fold up to form on that. But still, that's what the Aerialbots were known for, the wings in the back, and they were, But they had to form Superion using the skeletons, so at least these guys are more accurate than the leg, or they're the arms, but we'll look into that later. Right, now articulation, the head does 360 degrees. If you pull the wing back, the arm can do 360 degrees. It is a little more than 90 degrees at the elbow. Bicep rotates 380 degrees. And the arms rotate in, but they don't turn around. You've got the 360 degrees waist rotation, which actually you don't need in either mode. So other side's the same. See, they can kick more than 90 forward. They can kick that far back with all the backpack. Oh, the arms go out like that too. So the legs go out like that. Thigh rotation, 90-degree bend. And then I know the ankle goes. Oh, the ankle goes up and down, but the ankles don't pivot. Oh, that's different. So you can't get them in those superhero poses, because I could have sworn the ankles pivot, but they don't. Nope, they're a solid thing. So they could have thrown her an ankle pivot. I'm surprised they didn't. Most figures nowadays do. But all in all, Skydive is a pretty good figure. Now, I love the Aerialbots. The Aerialbots and Rodimus Prime are my favorite figures, and I'm glad I actually have a true cartoon representation of Air Raid. Because when we bring in the Combiner Wars version, now look at this. Between these two guys, which one? Whoops. Let me just adjust the. There. Now my camera's better. Which one looks a lot better? I mean, definitely this Skydive. I mean, this guy. Look at the arms moving up. I mean, it just, this guy looks funny. His arms are so out. I mean, look at that. It's like he's half the width of him. Funny thing on this guy is when I started my YouTube channel, I started with this guy. I could not figure out how to do these arms. And I went to YouTube and I think I watched M go, and I'm like, oh wow, those are pretty, that's how you do it. So I'm like, hey, I can do this. And so I started the channel like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, something like that. But so yeah, that's how I got into it, thanks to this guy. But as you could see, I mean, everything's different on this. Yeah, I mean, the plane mode does look a little better on this mode. The dimensions are a little better. But, I mean, there's no difference in these two. The head, I'm glad these were a step up from the G1, which I have G1 figures. But if you've seen my channel, you know I had flooded out last Hurricane Helene, and all my figures were thrown in totes. And I had just moved back in, but everything's still in totes. I got no bookcases, I got no shelves, I got nothing. So, but luckily I did find some of my old figures. But compare these two guys, which one looks better to you? Obviously this guy. All right, now we're gonna do some robot to robot comparisons with this guy. Okay, and our first comparison is going to be the Combiner Wars Skydive. Now, obviously, this is definitely more cartoon accurate. This guy, I don't know, the shoulders, the only thing he had in common was the color scheme. And next, we're going to go to the new Aerialbots, the Age of the Primes. So that is Air Raid. They share the same mold. Almost the same everything but the chest. See, this is similar, but this one's not. He's got the Autobot symbol here. He's got the chest. The head's a different piece. I think the arms are the same. The legs are the same, but the the cockpits are differently. And the wings are shaped differently, and he's got two fins and not one. So almost the same mold, but different. Because he's also a leg. Then you got the Commander class Silverbolt, his leader. So that is how those two. Now I wish they could have been more of the same size. I mean, even with the skeleton, they could have made them all the same size, or at least more of the same size. We're gonna bring in Commander class Optimus Prime. And we're going to bring in Studio Series Hot Rod. Let's see. This is Vortex. Now, this is also going to be the Age of the Primes. He's going to be an arm, though, and he's a leg. So we have our first Combaticon. Let's see. Megatron, since they don't like Megatron, since Megatron's the one that hurt Orion Pax. And since each Age of the Primes, we'll bring in Alchemist Prime, since he is a deluxe. And that is it for the comparisons. All right, now Transform Skydive is very similar to Air Raid. Now this guy looks very good from the top, but horrible from the bottom. I wish there was kind of a way they could have made it more streamlined, but it is what it is. So first, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fold the hands in. They just fold in, and then we're gonna plug them into this tab. So you got that, and you got that. All right, so now what you want to do is make sure you bring, now the legs will fold, the wings, you got a little notch at the back of the arm, and this is going to just like fold in like that, and then we're going to do that. Now we're going to take the head, rotate it 180, and we're going to disconnect this. There. So it's got these two tabs. We're going to disconnect it here. So we're going to pull this up, and those same two tabs are going to go with the holes on top of the shoulders like that. Okay. So now the top of the jet's done. So if you want to do like a walk-in Veritech fighter, yeah, that's it. All right. Now the feet. So he's all done from the top. What you want to do is we can take these tail flaps, fold these down, and I'm going to fold this one, just rotate that around, okay? Now we're just going to put the legs together like so. And the same thing with the other one. What we're going to do is separate these, the feet, from that. Okay, so now you're going to look at, it's all going to matter on this joint. So we're going to take these legs. See this, the pin is right here. So we're going to take these, rotate them on this pin, and we're going to get these two tabs into these slots. So I'm going to rotate these up. So, and they've got to be even with this. So what do? We got to, there. Push them over there and then pop them down. So now see, these are even, straight 90 degrees, and there's the pin. And then what you want to do with these is these can fold in. You got that tab will fold in right here. And then you got these tabs will go into these slots. And there's your jet. And just like Air Raid, the wheel is underneath his chest piece, and that is that. And you put the guns underneath here. So here's one, and here's two. And that is Air Raid. So from the top, he almost looks like he did. This is too square on the bottom, but you know, it's supposed to be more streamlined, but he is an F-16 Fighter Falcon. So, I mean, he's very G1-ish from the top. So you got the black and the yellow lightning, got the Autobot symbols. I love the blue tail fin. The black windows are blacked out. You got the tip. So pretty cool. But when you look at the bottom, it doesn't look that bad. But when you look at it from the side, yeah, that looks pretty bad. But what are you going to do? He's an Aerialbot. So, hey, we're getting our Aerialbots. So, and I like Skydive. He's pretty cool. I wish there was a way they could have made this. I don't know how you do that and make this a little more streamlined. But that is what it is. From the back, he doesn't look too bad. He's got the two engines right there. So, I mean, it's just too square for me, but, you know, these guys are combiners, so, but you don't really see this jet, so they could have done anything just to hide them. But, all right, now let's do some jet comparisons with the other Aerialbots. Now, before we get into the other comparisons, we're going to look at the Combiner Wars. Now, not accurate F-16. There should have been one tail fin, not two. But you could see, I mean, Was this a improvement over G1? Yes. But you could see what nowadays, what the difference is. So, very similar jets, F-16 fighter falcons, except on the back, you're supposed to have one tail fin, not two. You can see the slight differences. The yellow lightning bolts are different. They try to modernize these jets. The arms looked horrible, just hanging back there. The wings are swept in the back, and here they're black and even. But, I mean, now from the bottoms, you could see these had built-in missiles. Yeah, these things don't. Here we go. So you could see basically, you know, the arms just hang there. Even you see the hands. So at least these don't look as bad. You don't have a front wheel. The knees go into the chest. The feet fold out. So, I mean, was I excited to get this over my G1? Yeah. Now, am I excited about this? Hell yeah. So much better. So that is these two guys. And so head to head, not that bad. But like I said, not completely accurate because the two tail fins. If it would have had one tail fin in the back, yeah, I could have said, all right, it's an F-16 Falcon. But it's not. All right, now let's do the other comparisons and finish them up. Okay, for our first comparison, we're going to bring in the Skydive again from Combiner Wars. Just so you can see the two side by side. All right, next we're going to bring his foot buddy, his foot partner, Air Raid. So that was what these two guys look like. Next we're going to bring in Slingshot. Now he's an arm, so he's going to be a whole completely different. And I like how they did these guys. These guys were almost perfect in jet mode, but these guys are better in robot mode. And then we're going to bring the leader, Silverbolt. Whoops. Sorry about that little wheel. So that is what these two guys look like. Now, of course, what is wrong with this? There we go. So that is the leader of the Aerialbots. All right. And then we're going to bring in Vortex. Okay, our Combaticon arm. Let's see, we're going to bring in Hot Rod, Studio Series Hot Rod. Now, of course, I mean, a person's going to be this tall. Jets and cars are never going to scale that good. And then we're going to bring in our Optimus Prime Commander class. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in all the Aerialbots we got so far. We got Silverbolt, Slingshot, Air Raid, and Skydive. So Fireflight is the missing piece, and hopefully he gets here pretty soon. And they're looking pretty good together. You know, and we'll be able to do that one scene around Vector Sigma once we get all the Aerialbots. And pretty cool. Right. And that is it for the jet comparisons. Now, we've got one more mode, and that is going to be Superion mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the landing gear in, snap that. Now this, okay, we're going to unpeg this and bring it down. Snap that in. That is how he is for robot mode. But they have an extra joint right here. So we're going to push this up, move it down on this joint, and then it's going to fold in there. Okay? So, and then we've got a tab here and a notch in the wing, and we're going to fold this and snap that in, and we're going to put this in, and then back here we're going to take the tail fin, rotate it around, fold this one in, and fold that one in. So that is his leg mode. So now to put it on, here is the leg. me see if I got the right one. So, just like Menasor, what's going to happen is, okay, you've got these two 5mm pegs here, okay, and you got these two slots there, all right? Now, once you push these two in here, it's going to push this black in, and it's going to close the doors. See how it closes the doors? So it's going to be in here, and then here. So you want to line this guy up. Let's see. Oh. And push it in. There. And these are in. Oh, and the head, you just fold back. Sorry, I forgot that. And you fold the head back. So, you got to push them in real tight. You can keep the weapons back here. The arms. And see, it closes the door. And at first, even though I love Superion all these years, I never really noticed that on the cartoon, they were red and black, which is pretty accurate. And I didn't realize that. And then you take it onto the other leg. And what you want to do is slide this in. And so right there is his leg. So now let's finish up Superion right now. Okay, so there is Skydive. And then we're going to do Air Raid the same way. Whoops. You just got to get it there. Oh, why won't this guy pop in? Oh. All right, so again, what it is these push in this black bar, and that closes the doorway. So there we go. There, so that is closed all the way. So now you have our 2 feet. And before I get to the top, this actually, at first, when I saw this, you know, when we were waiting for it, I was a little leery. And, but it doesn't look that bad once you have it in hand. They don't look that bad. But I think what you're going to have to do is remove these guns so you can have them so they can have some leeway, but you can keep the other ones on. What if I can put this here? Nope. Oh well, but that's another video for another day. So as you can see, do they stick out a lot? Yeah, but now if you had these like this, I think when you move like that, it would hit it. So what you want to do is, that's why I think they have this extra one. So look at that knee. It can move that far. Okay? So that is the legs. My camera doesn't go up that high. All right. And then the arms. We're going to do slingshot on one arm. Okay? Now the other arm, I've got vortex. So there is my Superion right now with the 2 feet. There you go. With the 2 feet, slingshot, and vortex. Let's twist this guy around, rotate him. So not bad. See, if you look at not bad, I don't think they stick out that bad. I mean, it's pretty much even. But, I mean, you know, cartoon accurate, I don't know. Could they have made a way for maybe this leg not to be so thick? I don't know. But, you know, but Superion-wise, he is so much better than Combiner Wars. And he is pretty much cartoon accurately, which we'll put a picture up here of it. But that is Superion. And so all we're missing is Fireflight. So I can't wait for Fireflight to get here. Him and Skydive were supposed to be the same day, November 2nd. Then there was September 29th. And now it is back to September 29th still. All right, now to transform this guy back, we'll do into robot mode. So we'll flip the head up, rotate it around, flip this up, rotate this, snap in here, fold these down, grab it from back here, put these out, rotate it around like that. Now you got to pull the feet down so these become the feet like that. Unpeg the arms, take out the fists. I always like to put the elbows just a little out, a little bent. It just looks better. And then the wings, you could pull the wings back out. And that is Skydive. So that is what you look like Skydive to the actual Superion. So, pretty cool. And there he looks like with air raid. So, yeah, the skeleton frames don't really bother me much. But, I mean, Menosaur had to. But Superion, it is what it is. But, that is it for Sky. Now, before I finish this video, not to go into politics, but this week it is September 14th right now, 2025, and we just had an assassination of a political activist. Now, right or left, I'm not going to say what's what, but we should, as Americans, be able to talk out our differences and debate. You know, that is what the First Amendment is, and that is what this country is founded on, debate. And I've seen a lot of hate, even in the Transformer community. You go on Facebook pages, and you've got people, oh, I hate Bayverse, you know, G1 is the greatest, no Bayverse. And people actually, it's like, you know, some of the stuff they write is ridiculous. I'm like, people, it's Transformers. Everybody's got an opinion. You don't need to yell at each other, and in the real life, you don't need to resort to violence. So that is all I'm going to say. If there is a God that you believe in, then we need to pray that the violence stops and that we could talk things out. All right, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Stay tuned for Fireflight. As soon as he gets here, I'll do the review and I'll go deeper into Superion. Maybe I'll even go through each character and how to transform them into the arms and legs and all that stuff. But for right now, God bless. Don't stop talking with your neighbors, your friends, your enemies. And Skydive. What can I say? Rodimusbill out. God bless you.
Aerialbots, show them what you've got! No! It can't be! Surprise, Megatron! Meet Superion!